Welcome, affiliated listeners, to another amazing episode of the Affiliated Podcast. I am, of course, joined. Well, I myself am Kyle Kostek. I'd probably say who I am. And I am joined by my amazing co-host, Thomas McMahon. Thomas, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I just like we assume that everyone's listened to this podcast 1,000 times. So yeah, you know who we are, right?
Yeah, we shouldn't. What did talk about ego to lead things off?
Well, if you're new to the podcast.
Yeah, if you're new to the podcast, welcome. Well, if you are new to the podcast, obviously we talk about affiliate marketing, everything around that. But I'm going to stretch back a little bit. We just talk about marketing. That's really the goal here, is to bring you value in your business, in your life, and anything that has to do with marketing. And today we have a fantastic guest that's going to provide all sorts of value, and also low key is probably known as the nicest guy in marketing. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that Chad is not the nicest person that they have ever met before. But that's who we're going to be talking today is Chad Tackett, right? I said it right. I didn't say it wrong. Hopefully
you're pretty close. Yeah.
I always feel like I'm going to say your
pretty
name
close.
differently.
Yeah. Oh, no, you didn't say it right.
Damn it. Yeah, I didn't. So I tried. The one question I didn't ask before we get started, but Chad is joining us today, and he's going to be sharing some really amazing stuff that he's doing in his business and really with other business owners involving high ticket coaching and how to close on high ticket coaching, even if, say, you don't want to do high ticket coaching. So all the reward, none of the risk, and none of the work. Chad's going to talk about how he's doing that today, which I am super excited about because I've seen the results and they're pretty awesome. So with that, Chad, how are you doing today? Good to talk to you.
Yeah, doing really well. Thanks for the opportunity. Glad to be here.
Yeah. And just so you guys know, Chad is joining us from obviously one of the best places in the world, which is Hawaii, which is one of his places of residence. So that's where you have that tropical bush behind there. It's not just a fake house plant that he bought in the pandemic. It's probably native to his location. So well, to kick things off, Chad, we would love to hear. Yeah, it looks legit. Well, what I'd love to hear just to get things going is actually just a little bit about your background. So you've been doing this for a long time. I'd love to kind of hear a little bit about what got you here today. Obviously, you don't need to give us the full autobiography unless you want to. That's totally fine. But yeah, just share with the people kind of what got you to be so successful and how you're here talking with us today.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to make this the biography super brief and just get to where I'm at now. But I started back in 1994, actually, in the online business. I'm not old. I started when I was 2 years old. But no, right out of college, I got a degree in exercise science and health and nutrition, and went into a health club to manage their gym and had my own personal training business. And one of my clients told me about this thing called the internet. I was like, what? I never heard about, this crazy thing on internet, but like I literally couldn't sleep. I was so excited about the opportunity of teaching people what I was, showing them in my, private one-on-one practice to something online that I could show people around the world in a much more efficient way. So I spent about a year developing this online program. This is before people even had emails or, Google or any of those things. I spent about a year developing this online program where, there's exercise routines and video workouts and recipes and this whole thing, and developed this community site and launched it in 1995. And about 6 weeks later, I got my first customer, and then it's just kind of grown from there. That was a company called Global Health and Fitness that I sold probably 10 years ago, and then started another one called Fast Track to Fat Loss. Did that with Kim Lyons. Her and I were partners. She was one of the trainers from The Biggest Loser. Had some success with that and started doing the online coaching. Took this kind of community health and wellness to more of an online coaching thing, but it was more of a like group type coaching, not specifically one-on-one, but still giving the guidance and support that people need. Then sold that company and wanted to really, I heard about this thing called high ticket coaching about 2 years ago, and that you actually work one-on-one with people, giving them a lot more personal support, guidance, and accountability. And that was really intriguing to me because of all the different companies that I had. I've sold other, online books, and I had a high protein ice cream and stuff like that. All these other things that I sold people were good products, and I was proud of them, and they offered, good information, but it was just information, or it was just this, nutrition product or whatever. And what I found was those people that are getting the personal support and the guidance and the one-on-one accountability to really hold you accountable to the results that you say you want, those were the people that were really changing their life. And it was super rewarding for me. So when I learned about high ticket coaching, this opportunity to really work with like people that are like, all right, enough is enough. Just want someone to take me by the hand, guide me every step of the way, and get me to the finish line of the results that I really want and keep the weight off for good. I was super intrigued by that. So that's what I've been doing the last couple of years, is just really trying to figure out how to provide people with all the support, the guidance, and the accountability, and a specific blueprint of how to get to the results, and not just for, a wedding or for a high school reunion or whatever, but to literally change their life and keep it off for good. And super rewarding for me, and obviously super exciting for the client. So that's what I've really been focusing on the last couple of years.
Oh, cool. What does high ticket mean to you? That's a range that people throw out different numbers for, depending on what niche you're talking to. So when you say high ticket, to put it for our audience, what does that mean for your client?
Yeah, I think most would probably define it anything above 3,000, maybe. Well, some would probably say 1,000 or 1,500. My price point is 5,000 for a 12-week program to guide them every step of the way with a customized program. Because I think it's one thing to have like a really good program or a really good system, but when you have that system that's like custom tailored to everything about them, so that it's simple and convenient and easy to follow. So it's not just another diet; it's something that's really fitting into their lifestyle and their personal preferences and their budget and their schedule and their unique situation, and then guiding them every step of the way and holding them accountable, setting them up for success each week with a specific plan, identifying any obstacles that are in their way, and then backing that out and just taking it one single day at a time as their teammate to really get them to the finish line. That's what I think you can offer a high ticket price for anywhere. I think most would define it probably 1,500 or 1,000 up would be high ticket.
Yep. I agree with that. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. That's helpful for our audience to be thinking, okay, well, how much is he charging this to a client for in the weight loss space? Because I think, gosh, it feels like when I chat with most of my clients in the weight loss space, like AOVs have come up in the last 2-3 years quite a bit, but they're still looking at like, a $70 single bottle kind of thing of supplements potentially as a high price point, and then multiple bundles of that as a high price point. But you're talking a big multiplier of that even. So I think that helps kind of set the context that weight loss doesn't have to be a multiple buyer phase where you can get high ticket with it and kind of increase LTV pretty substantially.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people, when I talk to, I was just going to say, a lot of people when they first come in and talk to me about whatever, how much I charge, and for how long and what the program entails, they assume that the clientele are rich and wealthy and whatever. And that's not the case at all, because most people, 2/3 of the world is overweight, and most people are already spending the money. They're just spending it on medication, healthcare, all the different ways that it's affecting their life. And so when people really understand that the cost and consequences of not fixing the problem to lose weight are always more expensive than my solution, like literally every time, not just financially, but emotionally, physically, all the different ways it affects, shows up in your life. People can then understand once you get on the phone with them, and it's then just asking smart questions to help them realize that if I don't fix this, it's going to cost me that much anyways, and considerably more.
Yeah, no, I first I was going to say, like, I just think we need to call it the fact that Chad has been doing this longer than ClickBank has been around. So I just think that's a really important distinction that we should throw out there. You started in 95. We started in 97. So yeah, I think that's super amazing and obviously a wealth of experience. But the other part I just want to call out, I think it is so amazing that a lot of what drove high ticket coaching for you was the opportunity to make a larger, more customized real impact. Because I think when you have to sell to a broad audience at a lower price point, there's a certain, kind of a concession you have to make, that your impact is going to be muted based on what people decide to do with it. You can only drive them so far. You can only lead them to the pond and hope that they drink, and then consistently do that over and over again. So I can imagine that where the money might be nice and obviously the scale that could be achieved with that, but you might be losing what really got you passionate into this, which is helping people improve their lives. Health has been important to you, help you improve your life. You want to make sure other people have that same access. That being said, one of the things that I think instantly pops in my head when you go to high coaching is where obviously the margins could be substantial and great there, but sometimes the scale in the back end and the front end ends up being an issue. Is that something you've run into, particularly with your program, where it is so customized? It's a 12-week program. How do you make sure that could scale not only in the back end, but also in the front end when it comes to acquisition?
Yeah, that's a really good question. When I entered this, I thought my goal was just to, get 20, 25 solid clients each and every month, and really, just go all in and helping them get the results that they wanted. But then I started thinking, at some point there's going to be a time when I want to stop working or work less and not just be like so committed to the business where I'm just always in it. So I started hiring coaches underneath me that were qualified, but that followed my exact system, my exact proven system for not just delivering the information, but guiding people, supporting them, holding them accountable. So I hired on a couple coaches to take on clients to really serve my same role. So they're actually doing, all my clients have unlimited access to email, phone, text message, Zoom video calls. So they literally get all the support that they need. So how I position that is, I'm still going to be on the twice a week coaching calls, going to be there to answer any questions you have, celebrate your success, identify any obstacles that might be in your way, such as a really busy work day or a birthday party that might have a lot of cake and ice cream. We'll work through it together. So you're still going to have access to me. But as your day-to-day one-on-one coach, when you're at a grocery store or a restaurant and having a moment of weakness or have a question or whatever and need that support, that's your point of contact who she is going to, be there for you every step of the way. So you not only have access to me and answering your questions and helping you, twice a week on these calls, and also in the clients only private Facebook group, but you're also going to have one person directly responsible for your success who's 100% committed to you. When you show up 100% committed and she shows up 100% committed and I'm committed as well, and we're all working together as a team, like your success is inevitable. So that's how I kind of positioned it, and actually found that the conversion rate or close rate increased, knowing that they had two people, not just me, but someone else that can, give them an even greater level of support, even more promptly than I could have. So that's how I'm scaling right now I'm training 12 different coaches to work underneath me to really scale this to a big level.
Yeah. No, I really love that. In particular, I think what's interesting about the idea of having the coaches, where I think oftentimes if, hey, you're getting, one-on-one coaching with me, now here's some coaches, people are like, well, you're just going to seem authentic. But I actually think it does the inverse, where it promotes real trust and authenticity. Because if you think about it, at $5,000, to have somebody to have that level of time, if they're really that good in bringing that many people on, it seems unrealistic that you could have all their time. So instead of somebody saying that these people are you when they're obviously not, I think to be like, no, I'm going to come for where I can show up, but I don't want you to feel like you're unsupported. So here's the people that I've selected, qualified. That makes sense why that could almost increase the conversions, because it feels like that's realistic support that you're going to get, especially since people are smarter than we ever give them credit for. It seems like in the marketing world, too often we think of the George Carlin quote, when you have to think how dumb the average person is, realize half everyone's dumber than they are, So, but I think instead of thinking that way, like people are a lot smarter than we give them credit for. And especially when they're spending that kind of dollars, I think that makes a lot of sense. So, in terms of the front end side of that, so in the back end, because I could imagine you could scale that up as much as you need, as long as you could find and hire the right folks, based on what you just said. So on the front end side of things, how are you making sure you're getting enough people coming through it? Because that's the thing. The other challenge is it's not normally going to be a VSL that's going to lead to, hey, here's $5,000 for us to have a one-on-one relationship. So it seems like there has to be a lot of touch points and kind of a funnel to go through that. So how are you scaling the leads that come in and ultimately end up buying the high ticket coaching?
Yeah, the real key is just getting the right person. And when I say the right person, I mean, they have a growth mindset to really invest in themselves, because there's plenty of people that have the money, but just can't even fathom investing $5,000 into themselves. Whether that's an old mindset issue or whatever it is, there's just some people that really struggle with that idea. So you're just trying to get the right person on the phone to then just have an open, honest conversation and ask smart questions to help them understand the pain and the problems that they're experiencing. So as far as scaling that, we're just getting setters on the front end to find those right people that are really ready to make a change in their life, and then getting them to schedule a call with our closers, or we call them enrollment coaches, who then just get on the phone with them and just, like I said, just have a real open, honest conversation and really try to find out where it's showing up for them, the pain and the problems in their life, and then guiding them through, here's the solution and why this is so different than anything else that they've ever tried. So yeah, to answer your question, we're both trying to get more coaches on the back end to help support our new clients, but also getting more setters and closers to get the right people onto the phone. Because we haven't been able to, or at least we haven't really tried to sell our program at $5,000 just by a VSL or a sales page. I think that's a pretty tough sell. To at a $5,000 price point, I think you really need to have that open, honest conversation where people understand, okay, yeah, this pain is even greater than I realized. You're really trying to stretch the gap between the pain that they're experiencing and what's possible for them down the road. And I don't know that you can do that, or at least I haven't figured out how to do that in a VSL or on a sales page. It's just like a real honest conversation. And my enrollment coaches that have these calls are my previous success stories who have already been through my program, and it's transformed their lives in so many different ways, their career, their marriage, the personal relationship they have with themselves. So it's made like a really big impact on themselves. And they're really passionate about how it's changed their life and what it can do for other people. So when they get on the phone with people, they develop rapport and trust pretty quickly, and just by sharing their story. And before they get them on the phone, you say, okay, your call is confirmed with Ginger, for example, who's one of our success stories. At a few years ago, she was 58 pounds overweight and was dealing with all sorts of health issues, but she got on a phone just like you scheduled. We had an open, honest conversation, and 12 weeks later, she lost all 58 pounds, and she's now kept it off for 7 years. So by the time they get on the phone, they feel like they already kind of know who this person is that they're talking with. And then they're just having, again, it's not a sales call. It's like a human to human, just open, honest conversation. Like, do you want to fix the problem? And if you do, we'll open the door and show you the way. And if not, that's okay too.
So real fast, because that awesome stuff there. First off, appreciate that. The part that there's lots of parts I wanted to focus on, but the one that really gravitated is like, how did you come up with the idea and then approach the conversation and take these success stories and then move them into these closer roles? Or is it a setter role? Sorry, are they the setters or the closers that are doing the previous success
they're the closers because they're the ones that are having the real heart-to-heart conversation with them on the phone.
Yeah. And so that's good. So, I mean, I think that sounds brilliant, but then also I'm like, how do you execute on that? Where do you come up with that idea? Can you just walk me through kind of the ideation and execution of being like, I'm going to go to my success stories and have them start closing these calls for me?
Yeah. So the process when someone comes on board, like we're 100% just all focused on them getting the results that they say they want. So we're going all in and helping them, like I said, supporting them, guiding them, holding them accountable to losing the 40 pounds in the 12 weeks or whatever they said their goal was. So that's our first focus, is just to get them the results that they want. Once they do, then we invite them on to a video call, kind of like this, and just have, do a live Facebook or a video interview and just kind of share their experience. We use that in our marketing to share with, others in social media and on our sales pages and our VSLs. So first is to get them the results. Second is to share their story to inspire others. And third is just to reach out and just see if they would like to, this has obviously changed your life in so many ways. Would you like to come on board and help other people change their lives with me? I mean, let's work as a team. And, it's tough to find the right person that really has that drive and that, I guess, somewhat of a marketing, I guess, not background, but just mindset. Exactly. But when I've been successful in finding 3 thus far that have had, awesome success, became our success story, and then moved on to the enrollment coach. And I have a coach to these enrollment coaches that really trains them on, again, you're not selling, you're asking smart questions. Because when you tell someone something like you need to do this, or this is what's best for you, massive resistance. But when you ask smart questions, so then they realize, so they say it out loud, like, shit, this is a big pain point in my life and it's affecting me more than I even realize. And you just kind of guide them through. That's when the magic happens. And so I have enrollment coach to my enrollment coaches that helps, support them and hold them accountable.
So one last question, then Thomas, I'd love to have you ask them too. But just one last question on that point. So you mentioned the asking smart questions. So don't tell people, but ask smart questions. Give me an example of maybe some of the things that you coach your enrollment coaches, or your enrollment coaches them on. But what are some of those smart questions? What do they sound like? What do they look like? Just for the people out there.
Yeah, so you're basically just going along, just when you're opening the conversation after you've developed some trust and rapport with them, and then you just start, kind of bridge that to, I'd love to just learn more about you and see how this is showing up in your life. And so then you're just asking questions about their energy levels, their self-confidence, any health issues that they're worried about, their family history. And as you ask these initial questions, you'll be able to hear pain in their voice and what they say. A lot of times people get pretty emotional on the calls. And whenever you hear that, then you go down the rabbit hole and that thing. And then you just ask deeper questions and just get really, really specific. So you have a real clear understanding of how it's really affecting their life. So you're not telling them anything. You're not saying at 40 pounds overweight, it must be really embarrassing to walk in a restaurant and try to fit in the booth or whatever. But when you ask smart questions like, how about your self-confidence? How is your self-confidence? And they'll be like, well, I don't know. I guess it's pretty good. And then you just kind of give examples or just kind of ask questions. And if there's nothing there, then you move on to the next question. But you're just trying to ask these open questions. And then once you hear something that's painful or that's really affecting their life, then you're just getting really specific with them on that.
Gotcha. So just the last thing on this, but so like for that example, instead of being like, oh, do you find it hard to fit in bus seats? Like it'd be more like, what's your self-confidence? Like, yeah, I think it's okay. Hey, can you describe a time maybe where you don't feel confident? What does that look like? Like, walk me through that. So that would be kind of the secondary question you'd use to get to the pinpoint of where they do feel that embarrassment and shame.
Yep. That's right.
Nice. Okay, cool. Awesome, man. I really appreciate it.
Sales, Kyle?
Yeah, right. Maybe I've done it before. I don't know. Well, that's fantastic. I mean, really, really powerful stuff too, just to switch that. And I think that's also one of those things where I think even when you're not in the one-to-one situation with people, but even when you're doing your marketing, the more you could drive people through that type of journey of self-discovery is always going to be better for closing. Obviously, that's hard to do when you're not having a one-on-one conversation, but the more you could bring those ideals into your front-end marketing, the better you're going to be. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thomas, any questions that you have for this point?
Yeah, I'm really eager and curious to dive into how you structure kind of partnership deals. I'm not sure what verbiage you'd call it, but if you have some mutual friends of ours who, they've got, let's say, low ticket front end products, either in the digital space and weight loss or supplement space and weight loss. And then they partner with you in a way. And I don't want to tee it up too much. I'd love for you to describe that, but I'd love to pare that back a little bit and kind of see how that business model works and kind of goes across to kind of joint venture partnerships on your end.
Yeah. So I've really figured like I've got the online weight loss coaching high ticket thing figured out. It's pretty exciting, but I've always kind of felt pretty vulnerable to YouTube and Zuckerberg or whatever. Like they're pretty, they'll slap you anytime they want, especially weight loss offers, and so you're out of business. And so like here I have this amazing system that's helping a lot of people, but I don't want to be vulnerable to these, ad platforms that are turning weight loss business off all the time. So it's like, but I also have this awesome network of, I've been in the online fitness or weight loss industry for almost 30 years. So I have an awesome network of other partners that have these, weight loss supplements or this information product or whatever, but don't want to get into the, online high ticket weight loss coaching because it's a tough nut to crack. It really is. So I reached out to a few of them and just said, how about I offer a free personal weight loss roadmap on your, as a free offer on your checkout page, so that when they're going to buy a weight loss supplement or, whatever information product or whatever it is, there's just a little box there that says, would you like to determine your own hormonal profile and get your own personal weight loss roadmap? Click this box and we'll use science and strategy to help you get down to your goal weight for good. So it's some verbiage like that. When they check the box, that information gets sent to us, and then we reach out to the customer. We only ever deliver that free bonus that we promised them. We don't reach out to them for any other reason. But then we just get them to take action and go through answering a variety of different questions: how much weight they want to lose, what are the biggest weight loss challenges, questions like that. And once they fill that out and then schedule a call to go over their personal weight loss roadmap that we've developed with them of how we'll customize a plan that's specific to them and give them all the guidance, support, and accountability they need. That's, they schedule the call, and then we get on the phone with them, and then, our enrollment coaches enroll them into the coaching program. So our partners will get $50 for every person that checks that box and then goes through that process and schedules a call.
Oh, whoa. So they're getting $50 just for the
lead? Yeah, just for the lead. And so
wow,
it works not only to increase their AOV and their, lifetime customer value, and then also obviously profitability, but we've also seen in initial stats that it's also increasing their upfront conversion as well, because they're getting the surprise bonus if they purchase today. So not only increasing their upfront conversion, they're increasing their AOV, and their customer is getting very well served by getting the support, guidance, and accountability that people need when they really want to solve this problem. We've also found that those customers that are getting into, become our clients are getting such better results that they end up going back and reordering more products of from our partners. So it's a win all the way around. And so it takes, I don't know, an hour to set up this, order bump, on your page. And then, the customer info getting sent to us, and then we just go through our process. And you can also position it as a surprise free bonus on a thank you page or an email autoresponder series. Okay. There's a variety of different ways to do it. I mean, it's just a surprise bonus that you're giving value away to this new customer. They just took action. So there's a variety of different ways that you can do it. But the simplest, easiest way to get the most people through is just that order bump on the checkout page. And some people are doing order bump on the checkout page and thank you page, a video there. Like, be sure you take advantage of this. Claim your free bonus right now, and they go through, which is obviously helps the partner too, because they want the customer to take action, so they get that $50 for each person that takes action and schedules that call.
What do you have any idea like an average take rate would be on that order bump? I imagine you might not if you don't know the front end, but
yeah, in the past we just recently started positioning it as a surprise free bonus. In the past, it's been an order bump at like $7, $14, something like that. And so the take rate was overall, our partners was about 30% taking that order bump. Now that it's a free bonus, I haven't looked at stats yet, but we had imagined that since it's a free bonus and there's no additional charge, that it'll be much, much greater than that. But I don't have the stats right in front of me.
Have you tested it as just a pure free surprise bonus? So on the order form, it just says, hey, now included, or like even pairing with a countdown timer. Hey, if you buy in the next 10 minutes, you get this value to X just for saying yes. So then there's no action that they have to take. It's just, if you by buying right now, you're getting said bonus.
Yeah. I love that. There's one partner that we're working with. You guys know Brett Farrell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what we're actually talking about, is actually baking it into the upfront product. So it's just a bonus that's built into the product. So there's no checking a box or anything. It's just what comes with the product. So yeah, we hope to launch that really soon. So that's an option as well. There's so many different ways to skin the cat. It's just how you want to position giving away this free bonus.
Yeah.
Well, even if, let's just assume the order bump 3% take rate is, good. That's $15 per customer coming through back to the original seller, your partner, right? Which is for, if you had a digital product that was $37 in the front end at AOV around $60, adding $15 per customer is huge.
Yeah.
That's that is massive lift without actually charging the customer any more on that actual funnel. So I imagine you're not actually hurting your AOV by adding that bump. And I know some people are worried about that, right? You add a bump, it affects take rates in the upsell. But if it's a free bump,
exactly,
and it's probably higher than 30%. Yeah. Let's say it's $20 per customer. Gosh, that changes a lot of what you can do in the front end acquisition for that customer. It does.
Yeah. I mean, one of our partners was like, when we started looking at the numbers, he's like, oh my God, this can almost pay for my ad spend. So now he has free leads coming in. So it's awesome. It's pretty exciting.
Well, and one thing too, I think on the idea of the surprise bonus, I'm a huge fan of, because what you're capturing people is in a moment of curiosity, and already they're willing to make the commitment, right? I think it's a lot of people are like, well, why not put the bonus on the front page? I mean, you can, but then, there's a different thing when you come in the door, you're like, yeah, I think I am interested. And now you're getting something more. You just over delivered on interest that already
Yeah.
existed. It really, really locks people into say, well, gosh, I'd be stupid not to say yes now. So
Yeah.
no, I really like it. I love the surprise bonuses, because who doesn't love a good surprise when it's in your favor? There's a lot of bad surprises we don't like, but the good little surprises like that are fantastic. Another good example is like when you're in shipments, when you get free ride-alongs. Like, I think all of us enjoy that a little bit, as long as it's not like a package of dill pickles, because I'll never enjoy it. I don't care if it's a free surprise; I would never like it. But outside that, I think all things would be well met.
I like pickles. I'll take them.
I'll send them all your way, Thomas. So, except for the tiny pickles that they have on charcuterie, the little mini ones, those I could do. So less on pickles, more on performance. So understand you're getting a lot of these
thing, but sure, let's move on.
Understand you're getting a lot of leads coming through, and primarily through these affiliate sources, which I think is really interesting, to really unlock high ticket coaching for those that don't actually want to do it in your business, which I think is super cool. But I'd imagine one of the hard things is they're coming in, they're buying some unrelated product. You come in with, a bump or, a free bonus, wherever it might be. I mean, how are you getting people to actually show up for these phone calls? They're going to fill out stuff and actually be there and then talk to these closers. Because from my understanding, that's one of the biggest challenges. You could probably find somebody to close it. You could do it yourself, but to go from, hey, I bought, let's just say like some diet pills, to, some little free bonus where I have to fill out a survey, to actually showing up and sitting on what I imagine could be a potentially hour-long call, feels like a big challenge. So I don't know if you could walk me through a little bit how you're able to get people to show up and stay.
Yeah, that's a good question. So when someone schedules a call, we spread the calls out between the 3 enrollment coaches, and they land on a custom page that, first of all, the video is saying, all right, your call is booked, and we look forward to get on the phone with you and talk about your unique situation, how we can get you to your ideal weight. Below is all the information about your scheduled call, and it's specific to it's custom. It says their day and their time and who's going to be calling, and then goes into the story of the success story that's now going to be on the phone with them, their whole story. It'll say, like, a year ago, Hank was 50 pounds overweight, but he showed up for his scheduled call. We had an open, honest conversation, and 12 weeks later, he lost all that weight. He's off diabetes medication, and it's changed his life. And he's looking forward to having that same conversation with you. And he'll call you at this exact time at your number. And it's important that you're in a quiet space without distractions, so we can really focus on you and where you want to go. So on that page, we really try to indoctrinate them and help set them up that this isn't just going to be a sales call with some stranger. This is a person who feels exactly like you feel right now, and is now on the other side of that, feeling amazing and excited and inspired to help others do the same. So we really try to lower the resistance and help them understand that they have an advocate on their side that wants them to, get the same amazing results that they have. And then we'll underneath that call information, we'll have a personal video from that person saying, this is where I was before my scheduled call, and it was, affecting my career, my family, and my marriage, and all these things. But I showed up for my call. I had an amazing conversation, and 12 weeks later, I achieved this, and we'll show before and after photos and so on. And he'll just, in that video, be saying, I just look forward to getting on the phone and just having that open, honest conversation with you too. And then below that video, we have a long list of text messages that people have sent us, even those that didn't enroll in the program for whatever reason, saying, thank you so much for that call. It was amazing. It really helped me understand this is a bigger problem I have in my life, and whatever. So we just like literally pages of text messages of people just saying, how I thought this was going to be a sales call, but I had the most amazing conversation. You were so caring and compassionate and so on. So we're trying to lower the resistance. This is not a sales call. This is your advocate showing up, making time for you, and just going to have that open, honest conversation and see if we can get you to where you want to go. So that's the first way, is that page that they land on to really lower the resistance. Then for the next few days.
And actually, before we jump into that, I'd love it if we could pause and just ask a couple of questions about that page, because that's just mind blown a little bit. I think that's so smart and so brilliant, because you're removing the sales call aspect and you're giving them a carrot of exactly what you'd want, which is, here's a testimonial and you're going to talk to them. Because I think that's one of the things, like, testimonials are powerful, but boy, they don't feel quite as authentic if I can't ask questions and have an interaction back with them. Unlike every single personal referral we get. If somebody refers, like said, hey, you should try this trainer, you should try this gym, I could ask them, well, why? Well, what about this? How did you feel about this? Right? This is my experience. Is that what you had too? And that's where that conversation is, where referral really gains life and becomes powerful. But testimonials, you can never do that. But what you're doing is basically selling them the testimonial, and then it's like, here's the opportunity to not only have the call that transformed their life, but ask them any questions that you have about their experience. Like, that's really where I think that coach is the closer, or the testimonials and the customers as your closers, is like really magical. So one question I was going to ask on that is, on the text messages, do you show them like almost like screen captures? Like, it looks like a bunch of iPhone screen captures and a cascading, or how's that exactly displayed?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's like 2 rows of just iPhone screen captures of the text messages that we've received after they've gotten off their call and had this amazing, emotional call. Again, whether they enrolled or not, but just saying how amazing, Hank or Ginger, whoever they were on the phone. So the whole page is all about Ginger, if that's who their scheduled call is with, or the whole page is just about Hank, if that's who their call is with, and all these testimonials and personal videos and stuff.
We should steal that for our ClickBank onboarding calls, Kyle.
Yeah, I know. Well, I have to find people that could give us testimonials. That's the issue.
I know. We don't have any good testimonials.
Yeah. No. Kyle changed my life. No, just kidding. No, that is, I really love too that it's selling a phone call that costs them nothing but time, right? It's not selling them the program and this phone call is the way to get it. I think that's really powerful. I really, really, really like that some of them are, it's just people talking about the call, which I can imagine oftentimes people don't do. They sell what happens after the call, and the call is the way to get there, which makes it really easy, much easier for me to skip, right? I'm like, that call's there, but like, it's really just leading to this other thing. I'm not sure I want that anymore. Or I could wait on that. So it'll always be there. But the moment to actually have a person that has a story that's similar to yours, and that's all it's about, is just being on that call, I think is really interesting. So any other questions about Thomas? I just thought that was really, I wanted to pause before we move on to the second piece there, because it's just really powerful stuff.
No, I think that's pretty clear. It makes a lot of sense. I did have a follow-up question to the partnership aspect, because I think we're talking a little weight loss. I was curious if you had any other examples of other front-end partners in different niches than weight loss, like if there's other health kind of sellers that does overlap well into what you're doing.
So we have a partner in digestive health that is a really good fit, because a lot of the people in that space need to lose weight as well. Back pain is shown to be a good one, because a lot of people that have back pain problems is because they're overweight. Just vitamins and minerals, or just, probiotics, any health supplement works really well. I haven't yet gotten a partner that has any type of exercise equipment like resistance bands or anything like that, but I would imagine that would work really well, because these are people that have the mindset that I'm going to take action and, do these workouts and stuff. So, of course, nutrition and the support, guidance, and accountability is a really key part to them getting the results they want. So I really think it's anyone in the health, nutrition, weight loss space. We're also about to partner with someone very big in the dating space, because obviously a lot of people that are wanting to date and reach out to people want to look and feel their very best. So we feel like that's a good fit. But those are the niches that are doing well currently.
Super helpful. Thank you. Yeah. And then I was curious on that with the partnership side, is there like a minimum kind of daily sales you think they kind of need to have, or for you to be like, yeah, this makes sense to do? Or is it kind of hodgepodge of people just starting up to people who are super
Yeah,
scaled?
well, we certainly like to see a good flow of new customers coming in, but because it doesn't take a whole lot of time to really set up, even people that are just getting maybe a dozen sales a day are still really good partners for this. And we know that some people that only have a dozen sales per day, next month they could have 1,000. Different products have really
Sure.
popped in big ways with different affiliate partners or cold media buying or whatever. So we're pretty open to any partnering that's just wants to have a good fit.
Yeah, I like that a lot because let's say someone who's doing a dozen a day, right? They might be struggling on the front end acquisition still, but if they can add, like we're describing, 10 to 30% to their AOV, they could pay affiliates more, they could pay Facebook
Yep.
more. With that, they can start to bring in more front end customers a day. So that's all very self-serving if you can work with someone at that slightly lower band still. Okay, thank you. That's super helpful.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, and we'll circle back to that at the end too. But just for the listeners out there, if you're sitting here thinking, and hopefully you're all listening, it's like, man, this sounds so cool. Like, I'm probably not big enough to work with. Maybe I'm not ready to work with Chad. I'm not going to give him enough value. But you clearly laid it out. If you're transacting and selling, and there could be value, right? And this is the other thing, like Thomas mentioned. If this ends up transforming your AOV, that it is that slight push that you need to offer more commissions, to scale out your media buying. I mean, it could be the inflection point where you go from 15 sales a day to 60, 100, 1,000 sales a day, right? We've seen sometimes the margin between not quite there and really there isn't as big as people make it up. So we'll cover it in the end, how to interact and engage with Chad. So if this is something you're interested in setting up, you'll be able to reach out to him or a member of his team and get that done. But before that, let's kind of circle back to the placement side. We talked a lot about how you're doing a great job with those closers, but there was one other thing you do to really make sure that people show up to those calls, have the amazing interaction with the closers, and then ultimately commit to the one-on-one coaching. What is that again?
Yeah, so that landing page that would really indoctrinates them and helps them get comfortable with the person that they're going to get on the phone with. That's a big part of it. But the next is we have automated text message and email message that goes out from their enrollment coach to the person that just booked a call saying, hey, this is Ginger. I'm so glad that you booked a call. I really look forward to talking to you on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is my personal cell phone number that I'll be calling you from. And if you have any questions or concerns until then, just let me know. So that just kind of, puts human contact right initially up front, introduces themselves. They know now to expect that number from area code 406 rather than it, just being some spam number at that time. So that's an important part of it. And then the next one that's really important, some people, because our calendars stay pretty full, are booking calls 3 and 4 days out. And, we're all busy and, some people forget over the course of the day. So we send daily emails out and text messages to A, remind them the exact time of their call that we'll be calling, and B, just showing more proof of the people, what happened after they showed up for that scheduled call. So they'll get an email, for example, that says, I'm really looking forward to your call on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there, if you have a really good call and take action, there's absolutely no reason why you can't achieve the same amazing results as June, who lost 38 pounds in the first 12 weeks, and it totally transformed her life in this way. Watch this video. I think you're going to find a lot of inspiration from it. And so when they click that link to, it's a little video image in the email. When they click that, it just goes to a page. We merge in the person's first name, the amount of weight they want to lose, the time of their call. So it says, welcome. I'm so glad you see this inspiration from June. We're really looking forward to talking to you at 1 p.m. on Thursday to help you lose all 40 pounds for good. We're merging in all that information. And then that video is one of the interviews that I've had with June, the success story, just talking about how they showed up for their scheduled call, they took action, and then got down to the goal weight for good. So again, we're just trying to remind them of the exact time, what can happen for them when they take action, and here's more proof. And so each day before their call, we're dripping one more. Like the next day, it'll say, oh, I thought you might find this really inspiring because you said this. And I have a setter that's personally reading back or typing back exactly what they said, the reason why they wanted to lose weight. This testimonial had the same thing. Click here to watch this video. I think you're going to find it inspiring. And that page again merges, looking forward to talking with you at 1:00 on Thursday. And here's what's possible when you show up for the scheduled call. So it's just a constant reminder and more proof of, people that are getting great results when they show up and then take action.
That's so smart. So the setter knows, so the setter's the one that sets up that sequence to pair up those testimonials based on what they said, or are those just, do you have like a bunch of AR sequences for those calls?
Yeah, so we do have sequence for those different calls, but we have so many various different pages that the day before, 2 days before and the day before is a little bit more personalized. The first couple are just automated, and the day right before and 2 days before, our setter will merge back in. Chad was just looking over your application and saw that, loved your answer to what do you think is possible in the next 12 weeks? If you have all the support, guidance, and accountability, what do you think you can achieve? We loved your answer to that question. Losing 28 pounds in the first 12 weeks is totally possible, and it can absolutely change. And then you insert the reasons they said they want to lose weight. So yeah, we're merging that all in.
That's so smart. The personalization is just seems to make such a big difference. And we go back to way before, you described that, hey, you have these coaches, you have the consistent support that really feeds in this idea that it's personalized from your first interaction all the way up in that sales call. And then what happens afterwards, it's no wonder that it has such great results from closing. And then I imagine you're not getting a lot of people complaining after they buy, because it sounds like they're so well supported.
Yeah.
It's just really amazing. Gosh, that's not really a question, just to me going, that's really awesome. You rock it, Chad. That's just super cool. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, I know we're getting close on time, and I just realized we could probably talk forever, but we want to be respectful of your time. So, Thomas, I want to see if you have any other questions. If not, I figured we'd circle back and talk a little about how people can get a hold of you. If they've listened to this and they're super interested, how they get a hold of you. But first, I want to see if Thomas, the main man, has any other questions that you'd like to ask.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask if I could share some of this at a mastermind I'm going to on Sunday and plug you though.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is really cool. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. It is really, really great stuff. So with that, Chad, knowing that, hopefully we have a lot of audience of a bunch of people that listen, just that, wow, I need this in my business. I'd love to talk with Chad, work with Chad, put this into my funnels right now or yesterday, whenever that time might be. How do they get a hold of you?
Yeah. So my email is just chad@committed100.com. So committed100.com. So they can certainly reach out to me. I'll get right back to them. I just started working with Laura Jimenez as my affiliate partner that's going to be going out and finding other partners for this opportunity to add the surprise free bonus to part of their product bundle or order bump or on a thank you page or whatever. So if you know Laura already, reach out to her and she can give you all the details and get you set up as well. So either myself or Laura. And yeah, we'd love to hear from any partners that want just a win-win.
Man, the nicest pair in the industry, Chad and Laura. It's just too much kindness for one room.
I know. I want to hear what a call when something's going wrong. I want to hear what that conversation is like with you and Laura.
Well, she really is nice. I just fake it well.
What's a bad call? I
know.
Very well.
Yeah, you've got us fooled, and Laura apparently does too, because she is just so awesome. Love Laura.
She is awesome.
Well, fantastic, everyone. Again, I just want to say thank you so much for your time, Chad. That was super insightful, super amazing. And just as another kind of testimonial on the process, I've actually, sent Chad over to several clients, and every single one, the experience went incredibly well. It increased their AOV. It was super easy for the clients, and there was immediate value for them in the process. So if you'd like more money, happier clients, and a really easy, great person to work with, well, Chad's the person. We'll make sure in the show notes that email's there, but be sure to reach out to him. Try it, have a conversation. I think this is a really amazing way, especially if you don't have high ticket coaching in your purview or in your funnel right now. Don't try and figure it out. Just put this in here and start reaping the benefits without all of the work, because what Chad's describing is still a lot of work, and it's amazing what he's done, but it is not easy by any means. So really, really impressive. With that though, everyone, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day or whatever you're doing. We're going to be going to TNC next week, so you can expect a lot of interesting episodes that'll come out after that. So be very excited. And also just be safe out there. there and have a great rest of your time. And what do we tell the people, Thomas?
Happy scaling.
Happy scaling. Awesome. Thanks, everyone.